Welcome back to Embracing the Journey, Christmas edition.
Hello.
It's Christmas Eve, right?
It is.
Yes.
Yes, so we're in our reindeer, or I think Liam calls these moose pajamas, doesn't he? Yes. Thank you, Gran and Granddad, for these.
These are our pajamas from our in-laws.
Yes.
So.
Nice earrings, by the way.
Yes, I have my bells. So don't get to wear them anywhere else except in the house. So.
And we're featuring Liam and Oliver's tree that they have also.
That's the one they can touch. They can't touch this one.
No, touch this one. So they're doing pretty good at that.
Yeah.
Yes, training.
Yes.
So let's talk about Christmas traditions.
Okay.
So growing up, what was a Christmas tradition that we really enjoyed? And I'm actually going to turn because I can't.
Look, so you can see me. Okay.
Oh, by the way, I have Christmas socks too. My mom always gave me these. So anyway, sorry. Go ahead. Didn't mean to interrupt.
No, it's okay. That's a Christmas tradition for you then, I guess. Your mom gave you those every year. Okay. Mine would be, it's kind of changed as I've gotten older, but one of the things that I liked when I was a kid was on Christmas Eve, my family would sit us down, and siblings and I, and we would get to open one gift. And it was always pajamas, but I think that was something that we didn't really get all the time, I guess, and so that was just fun. We knew we had pajamas, and so that means Christmas morning was the next morning, so we were excited about that. And then as I kind of gotten older, I think I've just cherished like Christmas Day. We have my mom fixes breakfast, and we just have the family, and we take turns opening gifts, and that's just something that I've always enjoyed, and we've always done that as we've added family members. That's something that we've always done, kind of Christmas breakfast with my mom's family, and so I like that.
Yes. Well, I will say, in case Brenda, you're listening to this, and that's Whitney's mom, if you don't know Brenda, my favorite thing about being in your family is your breakfast casserole on Christmas.
So good.
Presents are cool. Everybody else is cool. Breakfast casserole.
It's the best.
Oh, it's so good.
I try to make it. Yeah. It's not as good.
No, yours is really good.
No, you're just saying that because we're on.
No, I really like it. All right. So for us, it was always Christmas Eve. That was really special. When I was really little, we would go to my Mamaw Ruby's and then my Mamaw Watson's. And when Mamaw Ruby passed away, we had so many great memories at Mamaw Watson's. What our favorite was Santa would come there.
Oh.
So we would all be in like the living room, and then Santa would knock on the door, and we'd all rush, and we could never see him. But one year, Lee, who's my cousin, she's since passed away, but when she was the oldest one, or one of the older ones, and she saw Santa. Aww. She saw him in the sleigh flying away. And it was like the year that the older ones, her and Joe, were like, we don't believe in Santa, and got him.
And she saw.
She saw Santa. So, but that was just so special. And I think now that, I've grown up a little bit, I just love that.
You still think you see Santa, but that's okay. Yeah.
No, I do see Santa.
Oh, that's right.
But that's for another episode. I just love the family time. I think it's really fun. Christmas Eve with my parents, Christmas Day with your family. We always eat great, and just seeing everybody's joy, opening presents, and just being together. Right. I just love that time.
Yeah, that's good. I know it'll look different this year, so just trying to still find the joy in the moments that we might get, or it might be different. It might be on a FaceTime of seeing family. So I think that's just even saying that, like, we cherish those times with our family. So how do we still have those moments even in this Christmas, which might look a little bit different,
That's really good.
For a lot of families.
That's really good. Yeah, we FaceTime Thanksgiving meal with my parents and loved it. I mean, it was fun, Yeah. So what part of the Christmas story is really standing out to you this Christmas season?
Well, first of all, I just have to give a shout out to Grace, because when you asked this question last week to her, like, she just brought it, awesome. Just talking about obedience. And I just thought that was so wise coming from her, and I respected that so much. So I've been pondering that since really that Embracing the Journey with her on there last week. And I think I've been in Isaiah here for a little while doing my Bible study, and then I kind of took a break, and I've been doing an Advent Bible study I started. And even in that, what I just did was just talking about the waiting and how the anticipation of Jesus's birth, and how Isaiah, and just in the Old Testament, you see just God's story of the anticipation of
Yep.
Jesus, and everything's just lining up. And so I just think about the season that we're in too. I feel like a lot of us are kind of in a waiting. We're waiting for COVID to be done. We're waiting for, our jobs to come back. Whatever we're waiting for. We're waiting to be back with family. And it's like, I think for me, I'm going back to God's character and the truth of his promise throughout Scripture. That's what I'm clinging to in this Advent season.
Wow.
And so one of the things I wanted to read just from my study that I'm doing, and it's called Waiting for Advent, and I got it a couple years ago, and every year I just I write down. I started in 18, so I answer each question with each year, and it's cool to go back to see. But it just said, he may have you in a season of waiting in your own life, but you can be assured that he is present even when it feels as though he is silent.
Wow. Can you read that again? That's really good.
Sure. He may have you in a season of waiting in your own life, but you can be assured that he is present even when it feels as though he is silent. And so I just spoke to me because, we just got out of COVID for a month long of isolation and quarantine, and I just felt like there was a lot of I didn't feel him. And that was my own fault in some ways, he was there. And so I just loved that statement that he was present. He is present. Even in the waiting for Jesus' birth, and even this season, we're waiting on this anticipation of Jesus' birth, and he's present. God is present with us, And so I just thought that was really neat. And it's just one of the questions that I just wanted to end with on my part, which is, how can we be assured of the presence of God when it feels as though he is silent? And for my question, or for my answer this year for 2020, I just wrote, trust his character.
That's good.
The Bible is a story of God and his love and redemption and offering us freedom through Jesus. And so if we're just trusting his character throughout, I just think we have to lean into that. And so in this Christmas season, these next few days, can we lean in to him more, even though we might think he is silent?
That's awesome.
So that wasn't a one-word answer, but there you go. I'm not really that.
I love it. And really, it reminds me, so plug for Passion City, Grant Partrick kicked off their series called Waiting Here for You by talking about the silence of God and waiting. And so that even lines up with, what you're saying. And I love that. It reminds me of Waymaker too, the bridge. That even when we don't see it, he's working, and we can trust him in that. Or Liam calls that Guys' Night song, because that's what we sing on Guys' Night. Yes. So I think for me, something that I've been sensing is, in this season with COVID and with so much adversity, I feel this inward pull, and I sense like this inward pull being stronger than ever for people just to turn inward and kind of forget about those that are outside of our circle. And I'm not like calling anybody out or saying, I'm just saying, like, I see this in me, and I kind of see this in our culture, that it would be so easy right now for us to just be like, hey, let me protect mine and protect me, and I don't have time to worry about everything else because I'm so stressed out. And I just love Simeon. I've been just stuck on Simeon, because when he's introduced in Luke chapter 2, it says he is waiting for the consolation, the redemption of Israel. So he wants like his people, like my circle, the Jews, let us be redeemed. Let us experience the Messiah we've been waiting for. But then when he meets Jesus, it shifts. And he says, you, my child, are here for not only the glory of Israel, but the hope. You're a hope for the Gentiles. You're a light for revelation to the Gentiles. So when Simeon met Jesus, his circle got blown up. And it wasn't just about his people, although God was going to come through for his people, but God was going to come through for his people and for the world. So I think the challenge for me has just been like, keep thinking beyond my circle. Fight the inward pull, but keep thinking about people that are out there that are not the people I'm normally thinking about, and pray for them, find ways to serve them when it's an opportunity. So Simeon's really been an inspiration to me this Christmas season.
That's good. And I just think about, I was talking to my sister today of just the burden that we just feel in this season for people who are going to be isolated for Christmas, who are maybe single but can't be with their family, or elderly who can't see their family because they can't get out, or those that are in the nursing home. I think about my grandmother who's in the nursing home. She doesn't get to see anybody, and so I just think that kind of just makes us hopefully think about.
Yes.
And how can we do something like, can we write a card? Can we, just take it beyond just what we see maybe day to day.
Yes.
And how do we think about other people outside of our circle? So I think that's really good. But yeah, that just kind of went with what Ashley and I were talking about today, and just how do we just feel burdened for them. So what do we do?
I love that.
So
I think that's awesome.
Yeah.
So, well, we hope that this encouraged you. Just let you know how we're kind of processing Christmas and some traditions that we enjoy. So feel free to comment and share a tradition you enjoy, especially if it involves eggnog.
It's past that.
Why don't you like eggnog?
I don't know. It's too thick.
Oh, it's so good. No. Pray for Whitney. Maybe next Christmas is the breakthrough.
It's not. Been around for a while.
But just know we're thinking about you. We're for you. And we do hope that you're able to find joy in a unique Christmas season.